Well. Chris Broussard, my boy. So, I'm watching the episode of The Odd Couple, and they're talking about the firing of Mike Budenholzer. And Chris starts the segment off basically acting as if the man didn't do everything he needed to do to retain his job as the head coach, right? So, I'm going to let you guys hear how he started off this segment, and then I'm going to jump back on and give y'all my 2 cents.
All right, Rob, big news of the day. Just broke, with an hour or so ago. Mike Budenholzer, the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, is fired after they got beaten in 5 games by the 8th-seeded Miami Heat. I almost want to call them the 9th-seeded Heat because they actually lost the play-in game and then won the second play-in game. So, Rob, no surprise. The only thing that surprises me, if anything, about this is you probably saw that Budenholzer, one of his brothers, got in a car accident during the series and died. And there was some thought, or I should say speculation, that maybe that might save him. I mean, it shouldn't because, and it didn't obviously, because, it's obviously it's unfortunate. Everybody feels for Budenholzer and his family, but that had nothing to do with this decision, I'm sure. And you do have to divorce yourself from all the personal things. Look, Rob, I'm sure the ownership and the front office and the players, I'm sure everybody really likes Budenholzer, has good relationships with him and stuff. But you have to divorce those personal feelings from this decision. And so when you take that out, I mean, Rob, it almost feels like it was just the only thing to do. Not that he's a bad coach. He'll probably get another job at some point if he wants it. But you go out to the 8th seed in 5 games. You got the best player in the league. And it's happened before. They lost to Miami, of course, in the bubble in 5 games. And so they've got a short window, Rob. I mean, short, but, you got a superstar player. You've got the type of player the Bucks haven't had, Rob, since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, at that time. And you've got to maximize the opportunity that you have. Rob, OKC, they had Kevin Durant. They had Russell Westbrook. They had James Harden. If you had told them maybe 2 years into the tenure of those 3, or, after they had gone to the finals, that they're not going to win a championship, I think they would have probably thought you were crazy. And they didn't. And those guys are all elsewhere. James Harden in Houston, gone. Like, when you get one of these players, Rob, especially when you're a small market that doesn't typically get these guys and is not a free agent destination, you've got to maximize it when you get one. Rob, they're fortunate that they got a guy that's not hopping around looking for a super team or.
All right, that's enough. That's enough, man. Chris, you tripping. You tripping, man. What does this man's team losing in 5 games to the Miami Heat has to do with what he's done for this franchise the last 5 seasons? That shit has absolutely nothing to do with what this man has done with this franchise the last 5 seasons. Not only winning Coach of the Year, winning 60 games, winning the NBA championship with this franchise. The franchise's only other championship next to when they won, back in 69 with Kareem. Based on that alone, that man should have not been fired, dog. Especially after the team's best player gets injured and doesn't play 2 games. Come on, man. Chris. Come on, bro. And then for you to make the statement that, I get where the man did have death in the family, and you can't allow your, when it's a business, you can't allow your personal feelings to get involved in making business decisions. I'm a manager. I supervise. I understand that part of it, You know, if nobody don't understand, I do. You know, I definitely understand where you're coming from with that statement. But not only did the man have death in the family, but the man had death in the family during the series. His best player got hurt, right? Best player got hurt. And Jimmy Butler went bananas. He went off. Went off, bruh. You know, sometimes when you come up against a great player, you know, they have these games and there's nothing you can do. You know, sometimes you come up against a great player and there's nothing you can do about it. And Jimmy Butler, he showed why, you know, he's one of the NBA's best players. 52 piece, right? He went nuts. And maximize the opportunity. Chris Broussard said that when you have great legendary players, you have to maximize your opportunity. What better way to maximize his 5 years of being the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks than being coach of the year and winning an NBA championship? Come on. What are we talking about here? But just this, I just feel like Chris justified this man's firing when he's done enough, dog, to continue on as the head coach of that team. Nothing this season, nothing that happened this season, nothing that happened in the playoffs warrant his firing. Absolutely nothing, dog. Like, what more could he have done to prevent this stuff from happening, right? His best player goes down. He's dealing with personal issues himself. And then he's in 5 seasons, he was named coach of the year and he won the NBA championship in 2001. And this is coming out of the bubble, right? So this is a full season. This is not a bubble season. This is a full season. Yeah, they lost in the bubble. A lot of teams lost in the bubble. Like, nobody was trying to play in the bubble, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, nothing should be held against these players. Nothing that they did in the bubble should be held against these players. That's the same bubble I think TJ Warren was averaging 50 points, 40 points a game or something, right? Like, let's stop acting like the bubble meant something. A lot of shit that was going on in the bubble wasn't going on in the regular season outside of the bubble, including the Lakers winning the championship. But I guess that's still to be determined, right? The Lakers are on their way, so let's see what happens. But Chris, come on now. That man didn't deserve to get fired, man. And I'll give you the main reason he didn't deserve to get fired, right? Because we know that there's coaches, and I know they're going to mention Don Nelson, but not even Don Nelson. There's been coaches that have held their tenure as head coach way longer, almost 3 times longer as Mike Budenholzer, and accomplishes less than he has in 5 seasons, right? Exhibit A, Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan was a great coach. He went to back-to-back finals in the late 90s, right? Losing against them Bulls. Michael Jordan whooping his ass, right? Went to back-to-back NBA finals. 97, 98. But never was named coach of the year. Never won an NBA championship. And had a great team. Karl Malone, second, third all-time leading scorer in NBA history, right? Stockton, the all-time assist leader, right? So, I mean, that man held his job with one team for 26 seasons. 26 seasons. 26. Had never won a championship, had never been named coach of the year, had never even won sniffed the opportunity to win the finals, dog. Because the Bulls was busting their ass. Come on, man. We gotta stop acting like this man Mike Budenholzer didn't do his thing in Milwaukee. That's all, man. Ran over. I just had to come on here and holler at Mr. Broussard real quick. You dig? Because yeah, that man did his thing. His best player got hurt. So yeah, they lost in 5 games. And Giannis was still hurt. Giannis was playing hurt. All right? So we gotta make sure that we present the facts when we having these conversations, right? Because that man was unjustly fired. Anyway, I rest my case. Anyway, man, that's all the time I got, y'all. This your boy Joe Squad. I'm out.